Arizona, as Fox brings you the Good Ranchers 250 at Phoenix Raceway.
Drivers, start your engine!
250 laps ahead of us here in Phoenix for the Good Ranchers 250. We are green, we are racing, and immediately Newgarden attempted to go round the outside of his teammate. It's close as we go 3, 4 wide, into 1, into 2, but Malukas carries the pace, keeps the lead. But we also know is the driver that was voted by his fellow IndyCar drivers as the one they would give the widest berth to. Oh my goodness! And that is Hauger.
You're clear. Going to be yellow behind you.
Oh my goodness. Keep it straight, kid.
Did he keep it out of the wall?
He did.
I think
Get on the brakes. Yep. Oh boy.
Goodness me.
Turn.
Unbelievable.
Incredible. Absolutely incredible.
I don't think I've ever seen that before.
Along with 6 other drivers, Rasmussen having a look at the back of him, and Joey Logano, what a save from Dennis Hauger.
This is an amazing save, and it looks like something like NASCAR. You can take the air off the rear spoiler, kind of came off the rear wing here, and the amazing part happens right here. He releases the brake while you're headed at the inside wall. That takes a lot of guts, but what an amazing job saving that race car.
And what a great job from Rasmussen to not drive into the back of him. He had a good head of steam. He had some good momentum. You could see he was pedaling the throttle coming off the corner anyway, even before Hauger got loose. But you said it, Joey, that moment, that split-second decision to get off the brake pedal just saved this kid's day.
And then the J-turn.
Joey, it's a weird seeing a restart with her not taking the dogleg shortcut.
Rahal goes for Palou. Oh, wonderful restart. And now VK wants to take advantage and will run wheel to wheel with the champion, and there's contact. Wow, that is the champion into the wall. And Rinus VK has damage as well. And that is huge for the season, for the champion, critically, for everybody else in this series. Alex Palou, having led this championship for over 620 days, is out of this race.
So here's the move. You said it. Rahal makes the move down the inside. You see the blue and white car behind him, the 76 of VK. Great execution from Graham. And now Rinus tries to roll the high side. Doesn't quite have enough momentum to get all the way alongside. So right now it's a battle of the spotters. Are they telling him clear? But at this point, Townsend,
VK's got to back off.
You got to back off.
You know the flow of the racing line. Everybody's going to walk up towards the wall. And to your point, James, he just never had the run even close to done there. Now, Joey, you come from the NASCAR world where your spotter would typically say outside, and you guys typically leave a lane. We are more, you know, got to be alongside to really own that spot. I think at that point, just running out of road, VK just wasn't going to have a run coming off of turn 4 to make that work.
Yeah, that's different kind of racing to me. Like, I would look at it and say, Palou, there's a car out there. You need to give space. It's just a different way of racing, apparently. But I thought it was a good run to get to the top side right there and take advantage of any opportunity you can to move forward in this air that they're dealing with.
Alex Palou's day is done. What did you see and feel from your vantage point?
I don't know. I haven't been able to see it. I just, I don't know if I just squeezed someone or someone was trying to get there. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I would. Yeah, I mean, I didn't think there was anybody there. Need to see if there was really that space or not. But yeah, I'm fortunate that we ended up in the wall so early and not even trying. But it's racing.
Thanks, Alex.
Very interesting to hear from Alex Palou there that he had no idea there was a driver on his outside. As you guys were saying, you'd expect the spotter to let him know that.
Guys, we heard from Alex Palou. We heard his side of the story. We can't talk to Rinus VK yet, but we can hear what he said on the radio after that incident. Let's take a listen.
He drove up on me, man.
Yep, copy. Let's just focus on the damage here. We'll figure out the rest later. What's it feel like?
Yeah, steering up to the left. I think it's got suspension damage here.
No surprise with how hard he hit the wall there, and I kind of understand what he was saying. You can see he's got a car width there, and Palou kind of fades up into him.
And I'm really paying attention to VK there on the contact with the wall. That was a pretty big hit. You saw VK's car jump a little bit.
Race with Team Penske. He takes Shell 100% renewable fuel, new Firestones, and he's back out.
Just keep an eye on Newgarden, who was P2. We keep an eye on Malukas as he leaves pit lane.
Newgarden side by side with his teammate Scott McLaughlin. They come down out of turn 4. It's going to be 3 Penske's into the corner.
And Newgarden has the momentum, goes side by side and wheel to wheel with his teammate, but Malukas just about has it in a touch. Newgarden around the outside, but I'm sure there was contact between the teammates.
He just had those few laps of heat in the tires, had a bit more confidence there in 3 and 4. That was a great call from the 2 crew. They're so good at getting that done. That was 3 Penske's, almost 3 wide. Here's the touch. Maybe, definitely contact.
Malukas trying to fade up, and Josef Newgarden say, no, buddy, I'm already in this lane.
Josef Newgarden taking the Joey Logano approach of like, I'm not moving, I'm here.
Well, you see how close it is. Look at Newgarden just able to drive it in there and get to his outside. He knows this is a chance to take the lead. It's why they pitted a lap before Malukas, was to try to have that 1 lap of fresher tires and have that pace. The same thing McLaughlin did. He pitted a few laps before everybody to try to close the gap to the leaders.
But pitting before all of these guys was Pato O'Ward, who actually has now track position over the 3 Penske's. The undercut has worked out perfectly for the McLaren driver. Teammate and the duo now behind Mick Schumacher, who had a very slow stop for a stuck front right. Newgarden looking underneath him. And this is always the difficult thing. When you come across a driver who's never raced on an oval, you don't know what to expect out of him.
And there are blocking rules.
And here comes
Here comes Malukas.
Up on the inside of Newgarden.
Top of 3, top of 3.
They go both sides.
Bumper, clear.
Mick Schumacher not making any friends out there, guys, in his first oval race. Both those Penske drivers got caught out by some late reactionary moves from the 47. First, that gave the opportunity for Malukas to get by, but then he had to get around the 47. Newgarden took the place back, but this is where you really have to be strong, guys. You've got to be good in traffic. Malukas was fine out front in clean air. That's relatively easy. There's nobody in the business better than at navigating traffic on a short oval than Josef Newgarden.
But you can play the wind, you can play the air for the car behind, and that's exactly what Pato O'Ward's doing right now with Rasmussen closing.
The gap was 2.5 seconds. It's inches now as Rasmussen is all over the back of the race leader, Pato O'Ward. We have seen this so many times, and he looks high now. Christian Rasmussen. Joey Logano almost jumps out of his skin, but that is the lead for Rasmussen. What a joy to watch him race on short ovals.
Somebody should remind this kid there's 145 laps to go in this thing. He had a huge advantage over Pato. He didn't have to make it look quite so sketch, but that's just what he loves to do.
Well, in fact, Bob Pockris interviewed all of the drivers and questioned them pre-season. Who is the person?
Nice and easy up to him and then just take care of him.
Who is the driver?
Right there.
Who's the driver you're most worried to race against on track? Majority vote, Rasmussen. They said he was the one that they were most concerned about. As you see the vote there, the most sketch, James, Rasmussen took 13 votes over Grosjean.
Now, Joey, you've seen something with Christian Rasmussen passing drivers to take the lead. Now you're about to see something totally different, which is Christian Rasmussen lapping cars, because this guy does not hold back when he laps cars either. If anything, he takes even bigger risks. What do you make of what you're seeing out of this young man today?
Yeah, absolutely. You see it here again. He is wheeling the heck out of this thing. We talked about it before the race started off air, the guts to brain ratio. He's got a lot of guts on that side of it for sure. He is making some big moves. He's got a fast car, right? But he's taking advantage of that. And look at this move. He looks to the bottom. No, never mind. I'm going to go to the top. Look how close that wing was to the rear tire. That was almost the end of his race right there. Amazing.
Christian Rasmussen has made 41 on-track passes. 41. Jack, talk to us about Pato O'Ward.
Well, his strategist, Nick Schneider, told me they saw how fast Christian Rasmussen was, and they realized so quickly this is a tire race. That higher line is working, and therefore their undercut is absolute paramount. But Christian Rasmussen has literally forced the entire field's hand right now.
And Rasmussen is all over the back of O'Ward. They may think this is a tyre race. Rasmussen thinks it's something else entirely. It's down to how brave you are, the risk you're willing to take. And Rasmussen takes the risk, goes low, looks upside Pato O'Ward, will go 3 wide, and Rasmussen once again will just breeze past.
Joey, no better example of using a lap car of Santino Ferrucci as a pick than that right there. Rasmussen played that brilliantly.
Yeah, he did. It started down in 3 and 4 where he was able to run up the racetrack a little bit, get that clean air, get the momentum, cross him over through the dog leg, and like you said, using the lap car as a pick.
We are seeing something really very special out of Christian Rasmussen. Louis Foster, as you can see, that rear right, blue paint all over it. He's been up and into the wall.
Usually when we see that, Will, it means he's gotten up into the gray, and it looks like Louis Foster did just that. Kind of trapped up there. Maybe somebody made a late move or something coming through the field. And once you get into those marbles mid-stint, late in the race, no chance to hang on.
And Joey Logano, when we saw those yellow flags come out, the whole race go under caution. Kirkwood takes us back to racing, and here comes Rasmussen once again on the inside of Dixon, wasting no time on the restart.
So he's down on that low side there, but he's got the dirty air from Power in front. Dixon on the high lines got that clean air, is able to keep the position.
Oh, Ferrucci on the move.
Top two drivers have used Firestones. This guy right here, Rasmussen and Dixon, they have Firestone Courage right now. Brand new tires with lots of grip. They got to put it to good use though right now.
Dixon trying to work that high line. It got sort of forced high a bit there by Power, and that's given him the opportunity, Rasmussen, to get along the inside of the 9. Can he make it stick this time down at 3 and 4?
Dixon holds it. Dixon holds it. No way. Oh, yeah, they touch.
That was a big enough touch. If I'm Scott, I'm worried about that left rear.
Absolutely. Left rear tire pressure. That end fence, carbon fiber front wing end fences can cut a tire very easily.
It was a tire coming off this car last week in St. Pete that put him out of the race. Let's take another look at the contact. You see that right front end fence, that left rear tire. Whoa, look at the deflection in the sidewall. That's not pretty.
Well, that's inches away from front wing failure.
They're just going to push as hard as they can.
O'Ward out ahead of Newgarden, and Rasmussen keeps it late, but keeps it tiny. Sweeps around the outsides of Kyle Kirkwood.
Now, don't you think if you're Kyle Kirkwood right now, you got to be thinking pit. Right now, the lead just got taken away. One of the fastest cars just passed you. Well, you got to come in.
His teammate is pitting. Will Power is into pit lane. So too Graham Rahal. We sit on board with Kirkwood. If he's going to pit in, he has to cut the line now. He does so. Down to 100. As he comes round the corner, we'll have to drop down again to hit the lower pit limit. Power leads, and now here's Rasmussen. He's passed O'Ward, he's into second, he's less than half a second behind. He is insatiable today here in Phoenix. Christian Rasmussen on Will Power. This will be for the lead, ultimately could be for the win. No one has been able to keep Rasmussen at bay today. Such has been his drive, his determination, his singular style on this type of circuit. Sketch factor 100.
You got a guy with 45 wins in Will Power. Holds the all-time record for IndyCar pole positions, making him, data-wise, the fastest guy in the history of this sport. Rasmussen with 1 win, but with tons of enthusiasm for putting himself right on the ragged edge in seeking his 2nd win of his career.
Guys, I kind of like what 26 is doing right here. He's kind of looking in his mirrors, and he's working with his spotter, Bobby Dalzell, to try to put his car where he knows the 21 likes to run. Take that air off his car, take his preferred line away.
But look at the car dance. Look at it dance in the dirty air, the little twitches, stepping out of position, but Rasmussen holds it exactly where he wants it. Dancing, a beautiful ballet, and moves to the inside.
Outside.
Oh, but Will Power saying, not right now.
And moves to the outside.
I cannot believe how well that car is handling when he crosses in that dirty air back towards the outside of the corner on Power. Rasmussen absolutely on rails right now.
I think if I was Will Power, Joey, I might think about starting to move up mid-corner and make it a little more difficult on Rasmussen. Power running all the way down at the apron, leaving a lot of clean air to the high side.
You see Will try to do the fade.
He's in the wall.
That's exactly
Power seemingly has damage. Rasmussen may not.
Power's got to fly
down.
Flat rear right for Will Power. Rasmussen somehow continues. Full course caution, and that was only a matter of time. Quite incredible and bitter disappointment for Will Power on such a strong run.
You saw it looked like a mark on the right rear from the wall. Was that Rasmussen getting in?
Well, Rasmussen got off the wall, but they must have touched there. Maybe Rasmussen's left front end fence cutting down Will Power's right rear tire.
That's what it looked like to me. You see Will here. He's trying to pull the fade on him, trying to put the dirty air on him. Rasmussen does a good job getting to his outside, and he's out there.
Wow.
Oh, yeah, just cuts the tire down
What happened was Will Power got rotation, so his right rear stepped out just a little bit. So similar to what we saw with Alex Palou and Rinus VeeKay at the start of this race.
And how strong is that front wing, again, to not break?
It was that second hit that cut Power's right rear tire. On board here with Power looking out the back.
Rasmussen goes high.
Corner outside there. In line with you.
It's a pretty good hit to the wall, too, for Rasmussen. That could be a lot.
Let's hear what Rasmussen thought of it.
Damage, I think, came up on me. I was on the outside. Something feels off, but I'm not sure what.
Something feels off. I'm not sure what. Big hit to the wall for Christian Rasmussen.
You're looking at that front suspension on the right side. It looks relatively straight from where we're sitting, but guys, on an oval, everything is tuned to such millimeter precision. Even if it's a fraction of an inch out, it's going to have a huge effect on the handle.
In the blink of an eye, all of a sudden, the top two runners with issues, Pato O'Ward has got to be smiling in second place. His team will be monitoring the radio and say, listen, there might be something wrong with Rasmussen's car.
And what do you do for Rasmussen? You're leading the race. You may or may not have damage. It's really hard in a race car to feel damage when you're not at speed. Under caution, you're like, maybe not, not sure. You find out when you go into turn one the first time, though.
There's damage. For Christian Rasmussen to say something doesn't feel right, that means there's damage to the car. The question is, will he be able to hang on to it? So far today, James, he seems like the only guy able to really manage a race car way out of shape.
The question is, can he drive around it? Or will the problem ultimately resolve itself?
Newgarden's trying to make some moves further back on Pato O'Ward. Here comes Armstrong around the outside of Dixon, right behind Malukas. Great move from the young Kiwi.
O'Ward looking very fast back there on fresh tires, but for Christian Rasmussen, a huge sigh of relief for him and his team. His race car is holding up, and it's still fast.
It's holding up so far. He was reporting that he could see damage to the car from inside the cockpit under caution, but he leads Kirkwood to the tune of half a second. 30 laps to go as Rosenquist gets swamped. Rossi on one side, Ray Hall on the other. But there's your race leader.
Buddy. Looks good.
Christian Rasmussen.
I think we're fine. That's the radio message from Rasmussen. And actually, I like what Kirkwood did on that restart. He gave him a little bit of a buffer. He didn't want to be anywhere near that machine if something gave out entering turn one at speed. But now he's got clear air, clean racetrack, and a wicked fast race car.
These guys have a big problem in that Josef Newgarden is coming fast and has the perfect technique to come through these two. Rasmussen and Kirkwood, like you said, Joey, moving around. Here comes Kirkwood.
Here comes Kirkwood, looking up the inside of Rasmussen. Can't find his way through, and as these two scrap over position, it'll be playing beautifully into the hands of Josef Newgarden. Kirkwood now has the lead from Rasmussen, who will not want to let it go, but it's all eyes on the number two. Newgarden has the tire, has the experience, has the knowledge, and has won before.
Just going to say, all of a sudden, Rasmussen's running in traffic for the first time as Newgarden gets by.
I mean, what Kirkwood needed was Rasmussen to hold up Newgarden for at least a lap or two. Now, Josef's been unleashed. He can chase him down.
Rasmussen had not run in traffic since hitting the wall in the crash with Will Power earlier, so Newgarden with a big tire advantage, but just 7 laps at the line to get it done.
And Kirkwood has clean air still. They have not caught the back of the pack. That's not going to play in Josef's hand, but he does have the superior car right now with the tires.
That steering wheel, that onboard of Josef Newgarden, that thing looks so calm, so controlled. You watch the throttle, he's just using the throttle so carefully, balancing it through the mid-corner as Rasmussen's trying to hang on.
Here comes Newgarden on Kirkwood for the lead. Wonderful from Josef Newgarden, delivers a knockout punch into the lead with 6 to go, and wouldn't you know it, back here in Phoenix, and it's Josef Newgarden to the fore once again. The man who won here the last time we raced here in 2018. Josef Newgarden, 6 to go, leads the race.
And where's Josef Newgarden been all day? He's just been kind of hanging back part of the top 5 into the top 10 area. At the end of the race, where's he at? Boom, he just figures it out. That's why he's a true champion.
He ran up front early with his teammate Malukas. They sort of got shuffled back in that first pit cycle, but like you said, called the strategy perfectly. Pit on that last one. It's what helped him win here last time we were here, and here's the move. A little bit of limiter there, coming off of 2. pull to the inside, and with those older tires, there's just nothing Kirkwood could do to defend. We said it during the commercial break. We're like, we got to watch the 5, we got to watch the 2, though. He's so good in these conditions.
Rasmussen dropping, and I think Rasmussen coming into the pits potentially to call it a day. He is falling down the order now. 8th place for Rasmussen. Now 9th place. A valiant and memorable drive from Christian Rasmussen. But what can we say, guys, about Josef Newgarden? Last year was not his year. He needed to come back this year renewed and refreshed to take the challenge, to mount a challenge to Alex Palou and the might of Ganassi. What a drive for him today.
I mean, it took him to the final round of the season in Nashville to get his first win of 2025. He's going to do it in round 2 in 26. That's a big difference.
And the points as they run right now would put Josef Newgarden as the championship leader if he hangs on here, and Alex Palou 5th in the championship. That is a big curveball.
Joey, your teammates with this guy, both on Team Penske. It's the 60th anniversary for the team. What do you make of the man that you know, the racer that you see?
I love seeing Team Penske up front. Josef Newgarden is just a true professional in everything he does, right? He's fast, he does everything on track right, but off track he does it right as well. It's cool to see him out front.
Well, what a day and what a drive. Celebrating 60 years at the forefront of international motorsport competition for Penske. Yeah. Josef Newgarden will deliver the victory in Phoenix.
Let's go. Let's go. How about that? Nice work.
How about that indeed? Cal Kirkwood runs home 2nd. David Malukas from his first pole to 3rd. It's a double podium for Penske.
We're going to be on the attack, JD.
As he said, way to be on the attack. And we are delighted to be back in Phoenix, Arizona, as Fox brings you the Good Ranchers 250 at Phoenix Raceway.
Drivers, start your engine!
250 laps ahead of us here in Phoenix for the Good Ranchers 250. We are green, we are racing, and immediately Newgarden attempted to go round the outside of his teammate. It's close as we go 3, 4 wide, into 1, into 2, but Malukas carries the pace, keeps the lead. But we also know is the driver that was voted by his fellow IndyCar drivers as the one they would give the widest berth to. Oh my goodness! And that is Hauger.
You're clear. Going to be yellow behind you.
Oh my goodness. Keep it straight, kid.
Did he keep it out of the wall?
He did.
I think
Get on the brakes.
Yep. Oh boy.
Goodness me.
Turn.
Unbelievable.
Incredible. Absolutely incredible.
I don't think I've ever seen that before.
Along with 6 other drivers. Rasmussen having a look at the back of him, and Joey Logano, what a save from Dennis Hauger.
This is an amazing save, and it looks like something like NASCAR. You can take the air off the rear spoiler, kind of came off the rear wing here, and the amazing part happens right here. He releases the brake while you're headed at the inside wall. That takes a lot of guts, but what an amazing job saving that race car.
And what a great job from Rasmussen to not drive into the back of him. He had a good head of steam. He had some good momentum. You could see he was pedaling the throttle coming off the corner anyway, even before Hauger got loose. But you said it, Joey, that moment, that split-second decision to get off the brake pedal just saved this kid's day.
And then the J-turn.
Joey, it's a weird seeing a restart where they're not taking the dogleg shortcut.
Rahal goes for Palou. Oh, wonderful restart. And now VK wants to take advantage and will run wheel to wheel with the champion, and there's contact. Wow, that is the champion into the wall. And Rinus VK has damage as well. And that is huge for the season, for the champion, critically, for everybody else in this series. Alex Palou, having led this championship for over 620 days, is out of this race.
So here's the move. You said it. Rahal makes the move down the inside. You see the blue and white car behind him, the 76 of VK. Great execution from Graham. And now Rinus tries to roll the high side. Doesn't quite have enough momentum to get all the way alongside. So right now it's a battle of the spotters. Are they telling him clear? But at this point, Townsend,
VK's got to back off.
You got to back off.
You know the flow of the racing line. Everybody's going to walk up towards the wall. And to your point, James, he just never had the run even close to done there. Now, Joey, you come from the NASCAR world where your spotter would typically say outside, outside, and you guys typically leave a lane. We are more, you know, got to be alongside to really own that spot. I think at that point, just running out of road, VK just wasn't going to have a run coming off of turn 4 to make that work.
Yeah, that's different kind of racing to me. Like, I would look at it and say, Palou, there's a car out there. You need to give space. It's just a different way of racing apparently, but I thought it was a good run to get to the top side right there and take advantage of any opportunity you can to move forward in this air that they're dealing with.
Alex Palou's day is done. What did you see and feel from your vantage point?
I don't know. I haven't been able to see it. I just, I don't know if I just squeezed someone or someone was trying to get there. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I would. Yeah, I mean, I didn't think there was anybody there. Need to see if there was really that space or not. But yeah, I'm fortunate that we ended up in the wall so early and not even trying. But it's racing.
Thanks, Alex.
Very interesting to hear from Alex Palou there that he had no idea there was a driver on his outside. As you guys were saying, you'd expect the spotter to let him know that.
Guys, we heard from Alex Palou. We heard his side of the story. We can't talk to Rinus VeeKay yet, but we can hear what he said on the radio after that incident. Let's take a listen.
He drove up on me, man. Yep, copy. Let's just focus on the damage here. We'll figure out the rest later. What's it feel like? Yeah, steering up to the left. I think it's got suspension.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleam, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets regular, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Arizona, as Fox brings you the Good Ranchers 250 at Phoenix Raceway.
Drivers, start your engine!
250 laps ahead of us here in Phoenix for the Good Ranchers 250. We are green, we are racing, and immediately Newgarden attempted to go round the outside of his teammate. It's close as we go through.
INDYCAR Arlington Street Race, and we are live on Fox and the home of the Dallas Cowboys here. Texas Rangers right nearby. AT&T Stadium, affectionately known as Jerry's World for its larger-than-life owner. A big reason this race happening today, and glad to welcome the Hall of Famer. Let's hear it for your owner of the Dallas Cowboys. Head coach, GM, he's come on. Watch this, Jerry. We just threw this together for you. I know how shy you are. So now, all right, on top of the world, and INDYCAR on top of the world here in Arlington. It's nice to see you and joining the guys. Congratulations on putting this together. Hey, I know you're a hands-on owner, and it's good to see your fingerprints all over this INDYCAR race. Sum up how you made it happen.
Well, I'll tell you, I couldn't imagine the quality that the Penske group and all that have made this possible. But I've said one thing when we first started talking about the idea. It has to be extremely high quality everything about it, the track, the equipment, everything involved. It's beyond anything I could have expected. We know this had to go up. What have they done to my football stadium?
It's great.
But no, it is great. And to think these guys are going to be upwards of 200 miles an hour in these turns, it just gives me a chill. Start your engines.
Jerry, it's amazing. You've delivered bigger, better, faster than we've had on a street course. I got to ask you about the athlete side. You had a chance the other day to spend time with Pato O'Ward, the quarterback for the McLaren team. I got to see your quarterback in spring training out in Oxnard last season. There's intangibles when you get the athlete up close that you realize they've got, like Prescott's high energy, his leadership, his enthusiasm. What'd you notice out of Pato O'Ward as someone that's seen great athletes for so many years?
The controlled intensity. You can feel it, boy. And he's driving for the marbles. Everything, every motion he has looks effortless. It looks natural. Deion Sanders used to say, it's natural. No, Deion worked at every nuance of it because he was intense and wanted to win. And that reminds me of what I see in these great athletes that are driving these cars. It's all on the line for them.
It certainly is. Now, Jerry, you've seen a lot of great big events here at AT&T Stadium over the years. I know we still have the race to come, but just so far, where does this rank for you in terms of the pride of being able to pull it off and what you're seeing out of everything?
Well, I don't know when logistically we have been a part of anything that had the coming together, the nuances of everything that it takes to make this work.
A lot of moving parts.
Tangible, intangible, everything that goes. And it can't miss because, frankly, this is serious business going up a couple of hundred and gearing down and making those turns. But our fans, I'm so excited for our Cowboy fans as well as all fans to have gotten to be a part of this.
We got to run, but Cowboy optimism for the playoffs this year, where is it at? Scale of 1 to 10? Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you, I believe we've done one thing. We're figuring out how to stop them. We can't do anything but go up there, but that's where we're dressing. That's where we're putting our energy and our money.
All right, we'll see you at Cowboy Corner. Enjoy the race. Thank you for coming by. Yeah, Hinch and Townsend will head up to the booth with Will, and the race live straight ahead on Fox.
Well, welcome back to the ATT IndyCar Series Java House Grand Prix of Arlington. This, the home of the Rangers. This, the home of the Cowboys. And now, this, the home of IndyCar. Welcome to IndyCar on Fox. The drivers getting ready to roll here on a glorious, if blustery day. The inaugural Grand Prix of Arlington, just moments away. Why don't we take a look at the Java House Grand Prix of Arlington's starting grid.
Scott McLaughlin, Christchurch, New Zealand.
Graham Rahal, Columbus, Ohio. Stingray Rob, Payette, Idaho.
Nolan Siegel, Palo Alto, California.
Rinus VK, Hoofddorp, the Netherlands. Scott Dixon, Auckland, New Zealand.
Dennis Hauger, Aurskog, Norway. Christian Lundgaard, Hedenstedt, Denmark.
Mick Schumacher, Germany.
Kyle Collet, São Paulo, Brazil.
Romain Grosjean, Geneva, Switzerland.
Kevin Simpson, Cayman Islands. Louis Foster, Odium, England.
Santina Ferrucci, Woodbury, Connecticut.
Josef Newgarden, Nashville, Tennessee.
Alexander Rossi, Nevada City, California.
David Malukas, Chicago, Illinois.
Christian Rasmussen, Copenhagen, Denmark.
Kyle Kirkwood, Jupiter, Florida.
Marcus Armstrong, Christchurch, New Zealand.
Felix Rosenqvist, Värnamo, Sweden.
Will Power, Toowoomba, Australia.
Pato O'Ward, Monterrey, Mexico.
Alex Palou, Barcelona, Spain.
Marcus Ericsson, Kumla, Sweden.
Well, what an incredible grid and what an incredible achievement for Marcus Ericsson. A first career IndyCar pole coming 13 years after his last pole position, which was set in the GP2 series way back in 2013. Alex Palou, a four-time champion, alongside him on that front row of the grid. Pato O'Ward, who we've heard from already today, lines up third. Will Power alongside him. There he is on row 2. Felix Rosenqvist and Marcus Armstrong, the MSR teammates, all together on row 3. And behind them all, possibly the fastest man of the weekend so far, Kyle Kirkwood starts 7th, right from the back of the field in 23rd. Scott McLaughlin, who thought he had a shot at pole, who started this weekend's first practice session the quickest of all. He will start right from the back after crashing in qualifying. And for me, he's the guy that I am looking at today as one to put on a show and rise up the field. Townsend Bell, welcome back to the booth, my friend. It's a jumbled up grid, and for all of these guys, it's a step into the unknown. Everyone is a rookie here. Nobody has ever raced the streets of Arlington before.
Not just the drivers, but the fans will get in here. They are 20, 30 deep, stacked to the fences to see what 200 miles an hour looks like here in Arlington. A lot of anticipation for these drivers. Their hands are going to have to be fast. They're going to have to be on their toes and up on the wheel.
Wind builds, anticipation builds, and we will go trackside now to get things rolling with the command.
It's time to give the command for the Java House Grand Prix of Arlington. Please welcome to Marcus Ware and Podge Rodriguez.
Drivers, start your engines!
Two-time UFL champion. Brandon, can you hear me? This is Townsend up in the Fox booth. Bud, what are you feeling in there right now?
I feel speed. This is incredible.
You got your headstock pulled down there, blocking maybe one eye a little bit. It's windy today, Brandon.
Oh, yeah.
In the field goal game, you got to make adjustments to hit those 70-yarders. Do you feel the wind hit your face at 200 miles an hour?
Yes, sir. Feels good.
You've been to this Cowboy Stadium a bunch as a player. Did you ever think you'd see a racetrack this big and this fast right outside?
No, it's quite the scene. Here we go.
Brandon, you feel those G-forces in there right now. Now we're losing them a little bit with the wind and speed there, hitting about 150 miles an hour. Brandon, you're about to hit the brakes here. You're going to feel about 4 Gs pushing your head forward. Brandon, thanks for joining us, bud. Have fun on the rest of the lap.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Brandon's got a strong neck, I'll tell you that much.
He was having trouble breathing. I didn't want to talk to him too much, but as he winds around this 2.7-mile track, James, we've seen a lot of new events in our time in this sport. We've seen nothing like this before.
No, I don't think there's ever been anything quite like this before. That front straight, that's where we're going to do the restarts. The initial start will be on the back, but 135 miles an hour into turn 1 through this unique left, right, left combination to start the lap off. We've already seen a few incidents down there in turn 2.
Yeah, turn 4, though, I think is the trickiest brake zone on the track. About 4 or 5 cars have either crashed or gone off there in practice. You wind through 5. 6 is the horseshoe. Totally unique. And then they come through the right-handers, 8 and 9, and then it gets serious. Come out of 9. This is Cowboy Corner. You got to saddle up, kick the spurs, and you're going to see 190 plus in the draft before a huge bumpy brake zone on the concrete.
9/10 of a mile down to turn 10. Going to be where they start the race and going to be the best passing opportunity for these 25 drivers. 157 miles an hour. Downhill brake zone into turn 12. We've seen a lot of cars in that runoff, T-Bell, and then a tight 41 mile an hour turn 14 hairpin to finish the lap off. You see the two-sided pit road. Another invention here from the INDYCAR series that's working so well here in Arlington.
Running down that long back stretch, as you guys said, 9/10 of a mile. That's 0.1 miles longer than the straight that you may have seen at the Chinese Grand Prix this morning. And the INDYCAR drivers will be full throttle for the whole of that straight until they hit the brakes coming into that very tight turn 10. Let's head down to pit lane.
Thank you, Will. My driver to watch today is the king of the street circuits. 4 of his 5 career wins have been on street circuits. Of course, I'm talking about Kyle Kirkwood. Brian Herter is on his stand. There's no better strategist heading into a race with so many unknowns. Look at him charging forward. Georgia.
Jack, I'm watching Scott McLaughlin in the Thirsty Threes team, and they're going to be extra thirsty today coming back from 25th. Scott told me at the beginning of the weekend this is immediately his favorite street course ever, but it went to worse because he crashed in qualifying, so he's going to start back in the 25th position. Tim Cindric told me that they're going to start on the hard tires, so it might give them a little more options coming from the back, but everyone's in good spirits, and they will be working their way through the field today. Kevin.
Georgia, one of the biggest stories of the offseason was the winningest driver ever in Team Penske history, Will Power, moving on to Andretti. But the first 2 races have not gone well. He's 22nd in the championship. Might this be the day to break through? Starting 4th, Power is still bullish on the move, telling me this team is going to be the best very soon.
No better place, no better time. And as we ride on board with Will Power, why don't we take the opportunity to have a look at the Dallara cutaway car. Townsend, take it away.
Yeah, brand new circuit, and what's important is knowing how you're doing in each corner. Are you faster or slower lap after lap? You can make small adjustments to your driving line. The question is, how do you know if you're doing better with each corner? The drivers have a very complex display, but the green highlighted area there shows your projected lap time and whether you're faster or slower through each turn. You see this example, 200 slower in turn 2, but still up in green on the projected time. So green is faster, red is slower. That's what one of the many tools the drivers will use right there on their steering wheel to optimize their performance here at the Grand Prix.
Marcus Ericsson leads the drivers around. Guys, I don't know if you know this, Marcus Ericsson's middle name is Torbjorn. The translation of that from Swedish, it means Thunder Bear, or the Bear of Thor. It is an old Viking name which signifies strength, bravery, and protection. What he has to do today is protect that lead, but that strength, that bravery, that is what he is carrying into this season after a really disappointing 2025, and boy has he ever shown it. First row of the grid, first time out in St. Pete, his first ever pole position today. Marcus Ericsson leads from the front. On the other hand, Scott McLaughlin equally fast throughout here, courtesy of Dex. Starting from the back, a man to watch.
Yeah, I think tails of two approaches for turn one. This guy, Scotty Mack, has to make moves right into that first corner. All Ericsson wants to do is stay out of trouble and keep the lead. Where does he decide to hit the brake pedal for the first time on an IndyCar start here?
You got to hope that during warm-up this morning he practiced a practice start, because the start line is way down that back straight. You're not going to be going anywhere near the terminal velocity you're used to going on a hot lap.
And what we saw during the Indy Next race early today is just how hard that start is. They've really got to bunch up 2 by 2 very, very quickly coming out of turn 9. Get into the order and then blast down to turn 10. We saw a jump start. We saw a crash down at turn 10 in the Indy Next race today. I hope and I'm sure that all the drivers were watching that just to try and gain some knowledge, some experience of how this might play out today.
You talk about experience. PNC Bank Machine here of Scott Dixon starting a little bit further back than he would have liked. We talked to him, said he just didn't quite get it done in qualifying, but we know how good this team is and this driver is at pulling a great result out of a bad qualifying. Look for the number 9 to move forward.
Let's go on board the 77 thanks to Goodhart. Stingray Robb, a name destined for something in the car world, the fast car world. Stingray driving his Chevy here, had a crash in practice, looking to bounce back strong today.
3 rookies in the field. The top qualifier, Caio Collet, the Brazilian, starts 16th. Mick Schumacher, on the 20th anniversary of his father's very last Formula One victory today, he starts 17th. Dennis Hauger, the Indy Next champion, he starts 19th. Work to do for all 3 of them, but as we said at the top, everyone today is a rookie. The inaugural Grand Prix of Arlington, a step into the unknown for the 25 drivers of the NTT IndyCar Series.
And every time you come to a new circuit, Will, every driver thinks they're going to be the one that figures it out first. They're going to be the one that finds that trick in turn 3 that gives you a 10th, that finds that passing opportunity that might seem a little bit, less obvious. And at the end of the day, there can only be one inaugural winner.
Marcus Armstrong due to be starting this race in 6th. What do we know?
Well, I know that his right rear is punctured, telling the team right now that it is going down, so he will be pitting early to change that right rear tire.
Oh, that hard work for Marcus Armstrong, undone before the race has even begun.
That's a brutal break for the young Kiwi. He's been having such a strong start to this season, fighting for a podium late in the race in St. Pete. Strong result in Phoenix, having to pit before they even come to the green. Now we have passed the start line. Essentially the race has started under yellow, but now we're going to pair up coming onto the back straight.
They will go 2 by 2. It is on Marcus Ericsson to temper the pace, allow the field to catch up. 9/10 of a mile this straight. They have about half of it to get into their race starting order. Not quite there yet. Will we roll to green? Scott Dixon moving to the back. 2 by 2 we roll, to the green we roll. We do have a green, and we're racing on the streets of Arlington. Marcus Ericsson defends his lead. Alex Palou slots into 2nd. A little bit of contact at the rear, but we are through cleanly the first turn. And the Grand Prix of Arlington is underway. Ericsson from Palou, from Pato O'Ward and Will Power. The top 4 remain unchanged, but Kyle Kirkwood on a charge.
How about them IndyCars? 3 wide going through Rangers right there as Marcus Ericsson delivers on what he needed to do, holding the lead.
Armstrong not pitting. He stayed out there making moves in 14 as they get into that tight corner side by side. Easy to get hip checked into pit lane if you're not careful down there.
And I wonder if Armstrong had any choice other than to stay out. His teammate on the inside, no way into pit lane on that tight final corner.
It's been well behaved there. You see that's Rasmussen going a little bit wide coming out of turn 3. His teammate Alex Rossi there in the other light blue and yellow machine trying to make a move. This is turn 4. We've seen so many issues here on the brakes this weekend.
Power a little slow out of the corner as he tries to keep Pato O'Ward well within his sights.
I think David Malukas got muscled out of the way there through the horseshoe as Kirkwood and Rosenquist run nose to tail, but Marcus Ericsson opening up a really nice lead on this first lap.
Yeah, absolutely perfect from Ericsson from the start. Did exactly what he needed to do. Got a clean start, no contact, and has managed to put daylight between himself and Alex Palou. That the gap then over the line. from where they started. It's actually half a way around the lap as we run down this 9/10 of a mile from turn 9 down to turn 10 at the speed trap.
Here's the deal, we'll take the green. If it's awful, you'll pit right away, but that will not let us get rid of a set of reds. If we complete one lap and then come in, that completes the one set of reds. So we'll just be ready for you.
Radio there for Marcus Armstrong, his team making a very smart, I think, strategy decision. See how the thing hangs on and then get a chance to pit and get off the softer tire onto the hard compound that we think will be preferred over the longer stint.
We think it's preferred. We do have to run 2 sets of those alternate tires with these new rules, so you've got to get 1 set off, and right now it's working for him because he's hanging on to 6th place, or he was. He's just dived, and he's dived now into the pits. He's satisfied the rule for that first set of reds. And now let's take a replay here. This is the onboard McLaren Racing Club of Christian Lundgaard through turn 4 into the tight turn 5.
Oh,
he gets hit. Nerfed by Mick
might have been Mick Schumacher, which should add a review, Kevin, from the stewards for avoidable contact.
And the message for Lundgaard was, okay, so let's settle in. Concerned about it, the tire pressures, and everything appears to be okay. So Lundgaard is staying out for now.
Yeah, no doubt that's going to go up to the steward's office. Have a look at that.
We've only seen one angle so far, but it looks pretty straightforward there, James.
Not sure I need a second one. The on-power car of Marcus Ericsson out front, though, has a 1-second lead over Alex Palou, and you could just hear that. He's already starting to save.
And Will Power making the move on Pato O'Ward. That is for a podium place, and Carl Kirkwood attempting to follow his teammate through. Looks on the outside, now looks on the inside of the McLaren man as they run down into the Rangers' right. O'Ward having to defend.
Great stuff. We think the Andretti cars might be the fastest cars today based on practice and qualifying averages, and Kirkwood now looks urgent to get past the Mexican.
O'Ward having to go super defensive. Power through into the podium places, and Kirkwood will be hungry. Blames himself for messing up his qualifying yesterday. Had a car that was capable of taking pole position. Wasn't to be, but inarguably one of, if not the fastest driver around this track this weekend. Carl Kirkwood, 5th, and hunting down O'Ward for 4th.
Guys, Will Power in that 26 TWG AI machine for Andretti Global. He desperately wants a strong result. He's kind of 0 for 2 on good finishes so far this season with the new team, but all the pieces of the puzzle, all the ingredients are there for a strong result today.
Yeah, he's either hit another car or a concrete wall probably 5 or 6 times in the first 2 events, even here in practice, but this is huge for Will Power to demonstrate the performance early in this race and go after his teammate Marcus Ericsson. Power absolutely charging forward right now.
3 Andretti's in the top 5. Ericsson leads, Power is 3rd, Kirkwood is 5th. We look back from our race leader, Marcus Ericsson, to Alex Palou. 0.8 of a second, the gap between them. As O'Ward again comes under some pressure from Carl Kirkwood, who can't quite get the move done, as Christian Rasmussen looks all over the back of the maroon car of Felix Rosenqvist. Now we sit on board. Replay of Carl Kirkwood. That's his teammate going through. That's Pato O'Ward ahead in the papaya and black McLaren.
He was so close to being able to just follow Power through and take that spot away from O'Ward, but Power going defensive. O'Ward did a good job as well.
One thing we've learned about Kyle Kirkwood is he understands the importance of the long game and protecting his equipment.
In the battle of the rookies, Mick Schumacher, car 47, has been given a penalty. Will have to have a drive-through for avoidable contact. That was the knock on Christian Rasmussen. Meanwhile, Caio Collet is up to 12th. He's gained 4 places from where he started this race. The young Brazilian on a charge through the field. He's made up more positions than almost anyone so far today. McLaughlin starting to make his way through. Rinus VK making his way through. Graham Rahal as well as Scott Dixon becomes the first driver to pit. And how critical will that be? Dixon taking an alternate strategy, having started down in 20th, trying to make the day come towards him.
There's a heat wave. There's a heat wave.
Welcome back to the Java House Grand Prix of Arlington, where Marcus Ericsson leads Alex Palou by less than 0.6 of a second. Will Power third, coming under pressure from Pato O'Ward in fourth. Carl Kirkwood is fifth. Felix Rosenqvist is sixth, and we are now stepping very much into the unknown, because all of the data that we've had from this weekend so far suggests the soft tire could last between 5 to 10 laps. For some drivers, may last a little bit longer, but the question of how far it will go, how long it will last, is the one to be answered. All of our top 5 are on the soft. Felix Rosenqvist, the highest placed driver on the hard tire, along with Rossi in 8th and Newgarden in 10th.
We expect that crossover point to come around lap 10 to 15 in that range, but Scott Dixon's already come in, and Georgia, there was contact with his teammates outside front.
Well, there was there, but my point being, Marcus Armstrong had pitted earlier because of that right rear punctured tire, but there are a handful of cars that already pitted too, of Schumacher, Dixon, Siegel, and the teammate Kiffin Simpson, so Dixon and Simpson right next to each other. They all went soft tire to soft tire, with the new IndyCar rule having to run 2 sets of these soft tires. Them coming in early like this, what does this do for them the rest of the race?
Well, we expect Scott Dixon to roll the dice early in these kind of races, go on the alternate strategy, go on the attack, and more often than not, it works out for him. I wonder, though, whether he'll have a penalty for hitting the tire of his teammate, bouncing it across almost into his own crew as he entered his pit spot.
Yeah, they'll look for the severity of that equipment flying and whether or not it created a dangerous situation. I think that one's going to be right on the margin. Luckily, his teammate Simpson there, it was in a Chip Ganassi team box one way or the other, so that's on the plus side. I'm watching right now Marcus Ericsson's pace on lap time, of course, but what we see here on screen with how much is that number 28 starting to swirl around with power down. So far, so good.
And the question that I have, Alex Palou sitting behind him. We see this race in, race out, particularly on street circuits. How much is Palou just biding his time, just holding it back, saving fuel, saving tires, so that when everyone pits around him, and we see this almost every street race, he's able to go further, go longer, and push qualifying style laps to take that lead and take that advantage.
Yeah, he'll be looking to do the overcut, which is to go farther than Marcus Ericsson. When Ericsson makes his first stop, Palou will want to stay out, as you said, Will, and crank off absolute qualifying pace laps to make it work.
That is what we call the overcut, and that's because these tires take a little bit to come up to temperature. So while you're out of the pits, struggling to get up to pace, struggling to get that temperature into the Firestones, the guy on hot tires still out on the racetrack can get it done. So this is the overcut. You stay on track, pit after the closest competition, comes in for those clean tires, but as it's cold, they're going to be slower. On the other hand, you've got the undercut, which sometimes works at other racetracks, where you pit a little bit earlier as the tires start to degrade, and then on those fresh tires, you can close that gap. Is Ericsson now worried about Palou?
Yeah, there's fear in the voice of Marcus Ericsson, saying, I think we're losing pace now to Alex Palou. Will, the master, is already starting to lean in with his expertise. Alex Palou is on the hunt right now.
He is. You call him the surgeon, and for good reason. His inputs are precise. He never makes a mistake. Alex Palou may not be leading this championship, but he is still the most feared driver in this championship.
Already the team of Graham Rahal, the Mobil 1 team, either getting ready, or did Graham just stop? It looks like Graham Rahal has already made a stop. That was just completed on pit lane. So guys are already starting to come in because of that tire deg, as you see the gap to the leader clearly closing down.
At the start of this race, a 2-stop is possible with some fuel save and some yellow to help out. I think nobody was expecting us to run all green for these first 10 laps, and so anyone attempting the 2-stop, they need to see some yellow. They're starting to sweat a little bit. These drivers that have committed to the 3-stop by pitting early, they're kind of in the driver's seat right now. At some point, these drivers up front, these top 5, might have to flip the script and switch over to that 3-stop and start pushing.
I'm interested to see how Rosenqvist in 6th, Rossi in 8th, Newgarden in 10th, how long they can make those hard tires last compared to the front runners on the soft. But it's Ericsson who leads Palou. The gap now over a second as Ericsson starts to put the hammer down and take the advantage back from Alex Palou. We ride on board with Will Power in 3rd. Let's take a view of this inaugural Grand Prix of Arlington from his perspective.
elevation, Ron. Tyres already taking a lot.
Copy. So that's another Andretti driver. You heard the panic from Ericsson. Now the teammate here, Will Power, telling his strategist, Ron Brzezinski, I don't think we're going to make it on these tires, Ron. That tells me this might become a 4-stop race, James. We're only 10 of 70 right now. Hopefully they can do it on 3, certainly not 2 today.
Man on the move, this man, Scott McLaughlin, 9 places up, started last, currently 16 on the hard tire. So he is anticipating running as far as he can, as long as he can, to put him in the pound seats. An astonishing start from him. Putting on the move, can he put another one down? Not quite yet.
I'd like to see the first 10 laps on replay from the Dex Imaging onboard here. Scott McLaughlin getting all those passes done. Starting at the back, he's been quick all weekend. We know he's got the potential to move.
9 places up for Scott McLaughlin. Puts him 16th, but it's Marcus Ericsson who leads the way. A second to the good over Alex Palou.
INDYCAR chat here, but we'll try to get it if we can. Open in here, nice and easy. Let's hit your marks. 3, 2, 1. Go. Then we close with the 12. Let's hit exit here. Left side. Joseph? Yeah, right front. Copy.
5 away. 4, 3, 2, 1. Walk gurney, primary's on, no changes. Go, 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 go. Push on the way out, you're clear to 12. Stop. Take 2. Take 2. Clear out, 1 half start, clear out, clear out. There'll be 2 to go on the line. I don't know what they might do, so just, you know, just kind of keep it, you know, smooth on our feet. Look for the pace car. Pace car's going to pick you up. Let's go peak 12 minutes right now. That's 2 to go right there.
We'll see the pace car.
All right, so Pal, they've just turned the lights out on the pace car, so when you come around, you're going to get the white and the green, okay? You understand? We're going to take the restart here on the finish line on Front Straight. You will get the green to white, and we'll have 1 lap of racing.
Copy. Tell the pace car to pick it up. I'm almost stalling in here.
Okay, just remember, overtake will be active and green. You have 43 seconds. Flow has 40 behind.
Copy.
Make it white 2 for this restart here.
Copy, white 2. Let the pace car go. Pace car's going to try and lead you in here. Okay, pace car's off this time. Pink 1, white 2. Pink 1, white 2. I'll call it.
Driver's right through turn 14. Driver's right. There's some cars down there. Stay right.
Yeah, copy.
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker! You just won the Arlington Grand Prix, baby!
Yeah, great choice of words there, Brian. Thank you guys. Incredible car. Man, this thing was an absolute rocket ship all weekend. Thank you guys. Thank you too. Taking it back home. I know you worked hard over the weekend too. Thank you guys.
Nice job, Woody.
Thank you, JJ. Eyes in the sky.
Remember to wave to your fans, bud. Yeah, wave to your fans on the way in here. Copy that. You got U1 below second. Willpower hung on the two-stopper for third. He did a good job. Ayrton drove really well also for fourth, and Pato ended up fifth. You drove great, man. You did everything you needed to do to win that race. You executed perfect. I have no idea where you're supposed to go, so I guess just look for people waiting you around. I guess you come in the pit lane, and then after that, I don't know. Yeah, copy. We were told X-Man Ona stay. This engine has more races to win, pal.
Sure does.
Looks like you're going to go to the end of the field. We're going to have a hole for you. Okay, just keep going down the pit lane. Guy in yellow waving you down there at the end there. If you haven't gotten out yet, power the car off.